Olive was wearing a large diving helmet, and she was sitting on a strange creature that looked a bit like a horse.
Heck, good thing I've got this breathing helmet. What's going on?
Asked Olive.
You're about to take part in a seahorse race.
Said a little jellyfish who was also sitting on a seahorse. There was another bigger jellyfish on a seahorse too.
A seahorse race? How exciting! I'm Olive, by the way.
I'm Jessie. I'm a little nervous as this is my first ever race.
Don't worry, Jessie. Maybe we can help each other.
Okay. Thanks, Olive. Oh, that means the race has started. Come on, Olive.
The bigger jellyfish galloped off, and Jessie and Olive rode after him.
Hold on to your seahorses!
Olive and Jessie galloped towards the first obstacle, a narrow gap between two huge rocks. The big jellyfish rode straight through, but when Jessie reached the gap, she stopped.
Oh, it's too narrow. I can't get through.
Of course you can. Follow me.
Olive skillfully rode her seahorse through the gap, and Jessie followed.
Yay!
Next, they reached a coral maze.
Oh, this looks really twisty.
We can do it. Stay close to me, Jessie.
Olive twisted and turned through the coral maze, and Jessie rode through behind. Then Olive and Jessie reached the most difficult part of the race, an old, dark shipwreck.
We need to ride through, but I've heard there's a scary sea monster inside.
It's probably just a story, Jessie. We'll be fine if we ride through together.
I suppose so.
Olive rode into the shipwreck, and Jessie followed. It was rather dark inside, and even Olive was a little scared.
What was that strange noise?
I'm sure it was nothing to worry about.
But suddenly, a creature with a long, sharp nose appeared out of the darkness.
Oh, the sea monster!
They raced out of the shipwreck as fast as they could, but Jessie did not look where she was going and rode straight into a forest of seaweed.
Oh, I've got tangled up, Olive.
Olive tried to pull Jessie free, but it was no good.
Tangled seaweed? A sea monster with a sharp, pointy nose? I think I may have an idea. Jessie, I'm going back into the shipwreck.
Olive, don't be silly.
But Olive rode bravely back into the dark shipwreck.
Excuse me, Mr. Sea Monster. Please, could you help me?
I'm not a sea monster. I'm just a swordfish. I can't help having this scary pointy nose. My name's Swordy, by the way.
Oh, I'm Olive. My friend has got tangled up in some seaweed. I was hoping you could free her with your sharp, sword nose.
Of course! Swordy, to the rescue!
Swordy used his sharp nose to carefully cut Jessie free from the seaweed.
Thanks, Swordy.
Yes, thank you. You're not so scary after all. Go! You've got to finish the race.
Jessie rode off fast with Olive close behind. Soon they could see the bigger jellyfish ahead as the finish line approached.
I did it, Olive. I won.
You certainly did, Jessie. The crowd love you. They're cheering themselves. Horse, see?
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again,
said her mum.
Okay, actually, I took part in an underwater seahorse race.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear,
said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing beside some tall, spindly plants.
What are these plants?
Olive asked.
They're bamboo. You're in a bamboo glade.
Answered a voice.
Talking bamboo plants? How odd.
A little black and white panda stepped out from amongst the bamboo.
Hello, I'm Ming Ming.
Hello, I'm Olive.
Oh, look at your lovely blue feathers. I'm just boring black and white.
You probably wish you were as colourful as me, of course.
Boasted a beautiful golden pheasant as it strutted by.
I'm Nianzu, the most colourful golden pheasant in all of China.
Hello, Nianzu.
Oh, I would love to be as colourful as you.
Then ask the wise man. Of course. Maybe he could tell you how to become almost as colourful as me.
Yeah.
Where do we find the wise man, Nianzu?
You can find him by the ancient and magnificent Great Wall of China, of course.
Oh, that sounds like it might be a long way away.
Actually, no. It's just over there.
Nianzu pointed behind them, and there, reaching up high, was the Great Wall of China.
Wow!
How did we miss that?
An old man with a long beard was sitting by the wall next to some colourful washing. He was fast asleep and snoring.
And is that the wise man, Nianzu?
Yes, of course.
How do we wake him up?
We could try that gong.
The wise man woke up with a start.
What? Oh dear.
Excuse me, wise man, but how can I become more colorful? It would make me so happy.
The wise man stroked his long beard and said, wisely,
True happiness is being happy with yourself.
and then he dropped off back to sleep.
How does that help?
Olive spotted a colourful robe on the old man's washing line.
A panda who wants to be colourful. A colourful robe? I think I may have an idea.
What is it now?
Excuse me, wise man. May we borrow your colourful robe, please?
Those who ask often receive.
Is that a yes?
It is. Now leave me alone, please.
Olive took the robe and put it on Ming Ming, and she became the most colourful panda in China.
Oh, now I am as colorful as Nianzu.
Almost.
I'll show those tourists how colorful I am.
Ming Ming paraded up and down the Great Wall of China.
Look at me. Hello.
These tourists just aren't interested in Ming Ming.
Suddenly there was a huge gust of wind and it blew off Ming Ming's robe. Ming Ming was back to her usual black and white self.
Oh, no. I'm boring black and white again.
Look, a panda.
Exclaimed a tourist. They all started taking photographs.
So perfectly black and white. Over here.
Over here, that's it.
The tourists took more and more photographs of Ming Ming.
Olive, they love me. Oh, hello.
Hello, what about me? I'm beautiful.
The wise man was right. True happiness is being happy with yourself.
He certainly was. Being black and white is amazing.
And you do look lovely, Ming Ming. Smile.
And I look lovely too, don't I, Olive?
Nianzu, you and Ming Ming are both picture perfect. Of course.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I helped a little panda at the Great Wall of China.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was on a cowboy ranch in the wild west of America. She was wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. All of a sudden, she heard stamping feet and a loud wail. A little goat was riding along on the back of a huge bull. He was getting bumped about all over the place.
Help! Help!
The bull screeched to a halt, sending the poor goat somersaulting through the air. He landed at Olive's feet with a thump.
Oh, are you okay?
Asked Olive.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, ma'am. Howdy, I'm Billy the Kid. What name do you go by?
I'm Olive. Pleased to meet you, Billy. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, I just can't get these darn bulls into the barn. My daddy's gone to town and left me in charge of the ranch. He'll be real proud of me if I get him inside before sundown.
I'd be glad to help. What have you tried so far?
Well, I've tried lassoing them. I've tried shouting at them. Move your big behind right now. And I've tried poking them.
Maybe I can think of something.
Olive looked about and saw Billy's lasso lying on the ground. She also spotted a tall stack of hay bales inside the barn. She glanced back at the bulls and saw that they were grazing on clumps of hay.
A lasso? Some bales of hay? I think I may have an idea.
With Billy the Kid's help, Olive tied a bale of hay around herself using his lasso. Then she stood in front of the barn doors.
Yoo-hoo! Bulls, tasty hay!
The bulls looked up and began to trot towards Olive.
It's working. They're trotting towards the barn.
The bulls started munching on Olive's bale of hay. Unfortunately, Olive was very ticklish.
Oh, that tickles! Stop it! Stop it!
Billy looked at Olive and was worried.
Stop it! Stop it!
Cried Billy.
Stop it, bulls, please!
Immediately, the bulls stopped munching and looked up at Billy the Kid.
Why, sure thing, kid,
said one of the bulls.
I think I've got it. Excuse me, bulls. I know you'd make Billy here very happy if you all went inside the barn. Please.
Oh, yeah. Yes, please.
Said Billy, catching on.
Well, of course we will. We bulls love politeness. You should have just asked nicely, saying please the first place, Billy.
Billy and Olive led all the bulls into the barn.
Oh, why, thank you very much. See you in the morning, fellas.
Just as the sun was setting, Billy's dad arrived home from town.
Howdy, partners,
said Billy's dad.
Jeepers, you've done a fine job today, son. Any trouble getting those bulls into that there barn?
Well, just a little bit,
said Billy with a smile.
But we're just pleased to get the job done,
said Olive. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been a cowgirl in the Wild West.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear,
said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive saw beautiful plants and flowers everywhere. She was in the jungle. Olive was wearing an explorer's hat and boots. She had a camera and a magnifying glass.
I have everything I need to explore this place.
She was about to set off when she noticed something odd. Some leaves which seemed to float along above the ground. Olive took out her magnifying glass and looked closer at the leaves.
Those leaves aren't floating. Tiny ants are carrying them to their anthill.
Olive photographed the ants and walked off into the trees. First, she passed a splashing waterfall. Olive took a photo with her camera. Next, she passed an enormous blue flower. She took a photo of that too. Finally, she found herself on a cliff top where she took a photo of the spectacular view. Olive thought she'd stop to take a rest. Suddenly, she heard a little voice.
I'm lost. Could you please help me find my way back home?
Olive turned and saw a brightly coloured parrot.
Well, sure. I'd love to help you. I'm Olive.
Well, sure. I'd love to help you. I'm Olive.
Olive was confused.
No, my name's Olive. What's yours?
No, my name's Olive. What's yours?
Wait, why are you repeating everything I say?
Wait, why are you repeating everything I say?
I'm sorry. I should probably be getting on my way.
I'm sorry. I should probably be getting on my way. No, please don't go. I really am lost. My name is Anthony the Ant, and I really want to go home.
I think you're a parrot, not an ant.
I think you're a parrot.
Okay, that's enough,
said Olive. Olive held her magnifying glass up to the parrot's face, and sitting on top of the parrot's head was a tiny little ant.
You see, I'm using the parrot to talk for me because my voice is so tiny and quiet.
Olive plucked the ant carefully from the parrot's head, and the parrot flew away.
It's good to meet you, Anthony. Maybe I can help you find your way home.
Well, I live in a huge anthill. Have you seen it?
You mean like this one?
Yes, that's my home. Can you take me there, Olive?
Olive wasn't sure she knew which direction to take. It was then she remembered all the other photos she'd taken while walking all day and could see she had made footprints as she walked.
A trail of footprints showing where I came from. And lots of photographs. I think I may have an idea.
Olive placed Anthony on her shoulder and began walking back, retracing the footprints she'd left.
If I look through my photos, I can find your anthill, Anthony.
Using the photos, she walked back, past the spectacular view, then past the enormous blue flower, and then past the splashing waterfall. Finally, Olive and Anthony arrived back at the anthill. Loads of ants came out to welcome him home. They were so pleased, they picked Olive up and cheered.
I think I might be getting ants in my pants.
Exclaimed Olive. Olive and the ants all laughed. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I helped an ant in the jungle.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.